You're on live,
All right. Shabbat Shalawam. This is GMS Louisiana Saints, the New Orleans camp, with another live Shabbat lesson. But before we get started, as always, we're going to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, Rakahakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And peace and salutations to you, sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalawam.
And with this Shabbat lesson, we're pretty much just going to land back off of the live camp we had yesterday. We started off the camp going into the war in heaven and Yahawashi's second coming in the chariots, but then the Spirit brought us through off that topic onto a bunch of other topics. So the Spirit didn't want that lesson to come out yesterday, so it's coming out today. And Abaratazah, you sincere Akim and Akwat are edified by it. But we're just going to get straight into it, starting off with Revelation chapter 12, verse 7.
This is Revelation 12, verse 7. And there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels.
And that war in heaven isn't talking about in the spirit realm where you've got the Most High and the spiritual demon Satan with his army of fallen angels fighting each other. That's just nonsense. That's fables. That's myths. The book of Enoch is not biblical or scriptural or anything. What that's talking about is an actual physical war in our realm between Yahawashi, the Archangel Michael, along with a whole host of other angels piloting the chariots that are going to return, and against the dragon and his angels, Esau, Edom, or the so-called white man, his beast system and their military, that NATO EU alliance that the U.S. is a part of. Their fighter jets, other military hardware, and of course the space force that these different Edomite governments have been coming up with. That isn't to fight against the Russians or the Chinese. That's to come against Yahawashi's second coming. And what have we been seeing over the past couple of years? Such an uptick in chariot sightings that these governments have had to admit to their existence and that they've known about them and are coming up with task force. This is all because, as it says in Revelation 12, verse 12, that devil is about to come down in great wrath because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. These elites understand the scriptures and know exactly what it's hitting for, so they're trying to prepare accordingly.
I got a precept too.
Okay.
This second Ezra is 13, and I'm gonna throw that 29 right down to 31. It says, "Behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth. He shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell upon the earth. And one shall overtake the fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another."
There's a lot to unpack in there. It started off with him coming to save those that dwell upon the earth, speaking of the elect, the 144,000 and the rest of the righteous 1/3. And it said he's coming to the astonishment of people, these heathen nations, as well as the 2/3, as it says in Revelation 1, verse 7, behold, and all the kin of the earth shall well because of him, because the day of the Lord is going to be a day of darkness and gloominess and war. Yahawashi is coming to save the elect and make war against these heathens, chiefly these Edomites. That's that one realm shall fight against another. The heavenly realm of Yahawah bahasham Yahawashi fighting against the realm of man, the war in heaven. And you've got three heavens. The first heaven, which is the regular sky, the second heaven, which is space, and then the third heaven, which is where the Most High dwells, the spirit world. And that war in heaven is going to take place in the first heaven and low orbit space of the second heaven. And like I just said, that's why these different governments are coming out with these UFO task force and space forces to try to fight against Yahawashi and the heavenly hosts. But as we're about to continue in that Revelation 12, it's going to be no contest, a first round knockout, no chance at all.
Verse 8, and prevailed not. Beautiful, right on time.
Simply put, and prevailed not.
Neither was their place found any more in heaven.
Keep going.
And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world.
Talking about these Edomites, as it says in Revelation 20, he was let loose for that little season to deceive all the nations. And we can clearly see that with the Renaissance. They started off with iconoclasm, covering up the images and showing themselves as the people of the Most High, as the Most High's Son, and as the Most High. And they've used their scientific miracles or technology to further deceive the people, along with their philosophies like evolution, democracy, feminism, all this madness to get these people to really not believe in a higher power and look at this plane we live on as it. And vis-a-vis with Esau being in power, they look at him as a god, which is what he wants. But as we're seeing in Revelation 12, he prevailed not, neither was his place found any more in heaven, and he was cast out of the earth. Hey, when Yahawashi cracks those clouds and returns with that armada of chariots, and these heathens try to fight against him, hey, nothing is going to be able to stand against the power and the majesty of Yahweh bahasham Yahawashi. Keep going.
Quick one to back you.
Okay.
You just said the 2 Thessalonians 2, and I'm gonna start at 9. The point is in 10. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved.
Hey, those people that didn't want to receive the truth and be saved, talking mainly about these 2/3, but you've got all these other heathens out here that have been deceived by Esau's vain philosophies. And as it says, when in 9, he comes after the workings of Satan, and we know that word working is energia, or supernatural powers by Satan. Esau Edom was helped by the spiritual demon Satan to get this knowledge to deceive people. But as we're coming towards the end, the Most High has taken away that power from him. So he's beginning to run around behind the scenes. He's running around like a chicken with his head cut off. So he's falling back on what he's always known, that sword, the Space Force, these UFO task force, you name it. And he's honestly going to try to fight against Yahawashi with this tinker toy technology he has.
It's not going to end well at all. It says, you want to go back in Revelation 12?
Unless you wanted to get did you have another verse you wanted to read?
Yeah, I can keep going on this Thessalonians. Verse 11, and for this cause, the Most High shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie.
Hey, believing the lie of that old serpent, the devil and Satan, and being judged accordingly for it. But we can go back to that Revelation 12 and 7, and then we can jump to the Revelation 1, Baba Kasha.
Okay. It's back in Revelation 12. You want to read 7 again?
You can finish out verse 9.
Okay. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. His
angels being his military hardware, these fighter jets, the Space Force, you name it. Again, just a first round knockout and getting completely wiped the floor with by Yahawashi, the Archangel Michael, and all the other angels piloting the chariots when they return. But we can jump to that Revelation now.
Okay. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 1. The revelation of Yahawashi HaMashiach, which the Most High gave unto him to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass.
And we're living in these times right now. Things must shortly come to pass. All the end times Yahawashi told us to look for in Matthew chapter 24 are either in the process of taking place or taking place as we speak. And like we were saying at camp, now they're talking about the MOTB, you know what it is, the charagma in Revelation chapter 13, verses 16 to 18 in the mainstream news now. And just like the juice, they're going to eventually mandate it. And we know once that happens, hey, there's going to be that hour of temptation. Then shortly thereafter, the battle in the valley of Jehoshaphat's going to kick off, and Yahawashi is going to crack those clouds. Hey, the revelation of Yahawashi HaMashiach coming to save the elect and make war against the dragon and his angels.
I got another precept too.
Kind.
Which I know we go into the main one on the second Ezra, the 13th chapter, but it's more to that. It's also the interpretation thereof of that particular breakdown or script. This is second Ezra 13 and about I'm gonna read at 32 from what I read 31 a couple of minutes ago. I'm gonna read 32 on down to 37, and it said, and at this time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the signs shall be, and the signs shall happen, which I showed thee before, and then shall my son be declared, whom thou sawest as a man ascending. And when all the people heard of his voice, every one shall in their own land leave the battle. All right. What battle is talking about? The battle of World War III. Right? Leave the battle. They have it says leave the battle. The battle they have one against another, and an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together as thou sawest them, willing to come and to overcome him by fighting.
Khan, and hey, we're gonna go a little bit earlier in Second Ezra 13 later, Abaratazar, but that's talking about in the midst of these heathens in the valley of Jehoshaphat fighting each other, stopping what they're doing when Yahawashi makes a second coming to for a split second band together to try to fight against Yahawashi. But when we get that the little earlier in Second Ezra 13, it said, hey, it was he neither lifted up hand nor held sword, but cast out of his mouth, as it were, a flame of fire, and I perceived nothing but dust and smell of smoke. And you can put the pieces together with that. The chariots
Right.
firing that concentrated heat of those so-called laser beams.
Right. And it goes on to say, uh 45, it says, but he shall stand upon the top of the Mount Sinai, and Sinai shall come and shall be shown unto all men, being prepared and built like as thou sawest a hill graven without hands. You know what that is?
And that massive fathership chariot that, again, earlier in Second Ezra 13, Esdras couldn't see the end of, which a Independence Day is as close as man was able to make a depiction of that in their own interpretation. Because when you saw that ship in that movie, it was miles long and literally cast a shadow underneath anything that was underneath it.
Right. And that's also right here too in Revelation 21 and 2, when it says, and I John saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from Yahweh out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. You got it right.
God, hey, the elect, the coming down in those new spiritual bodies after the dust settles from all the destruction to begin laying down law. Hey, those 144,000 fishers becoming those 144,000 hunters. And as it says in Psalms 149, hey, they're going to come after the kings and the nobles first, you elites that have put up the money to set up these space forces, and they're going to slap chains and fetters of iron on you so you can begin your term in slavery, building up the kingdom of heaven.
Right. I got a little bit more. And it says in verse 37, it says, and this my son shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations which for their wicked life are fallen unto tempest, and shall lay before him their evil thoughts and the torments wherewith they have begun to be tormented, which are like unto a flame, and he shall destroy them without labor, but the law which is like unto fire. Oh man.
God, he neither lifted up hand nor held sword, but as it were, flames of fire and sparks and tempest coming out of his mouth. And when we go into Revelation 19, it says the same thing. Swords came out of his mouth, speaking of those laser beams, and then later on it says he shall rule them with a rod of iron.
I
After
got one to priest up that too.
After Yahawashi makes his magnificent grand appearance, the greatest appearance mankind or existence itself will ever see, and he makes that war in heaven. Hey, him and those 144,000 are going to begin coming with those spiritual powers and rods of iron to just lay down the law and get the business clear, as brother Kaya likes to say in our camp.
Right. This is second Ezra's. I'm gonna go up a little bit to the point. So you really sort of emphasize the point. This is second Ezra 16 and 3. It says, a sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? Question mark. a fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Question mark. It says, plagues are sent unto you, and what is it he that may drive them away? May any man drive away a hungry lion in the woods? Or may any one quench the fire and stubble when it is begin to burn?
These
It
are
says,
all
go ahead.
these are all rhetorical questions. Hey, because as it says in Isaiah 55, verse 11, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please. All of these plagues and judgments and prophecy that have been written down in these scriptures, they're going to come to pass, and nobody will be able to do a goddamn thing about it.
Right. It's 7. It says, may one turn away the arrow that is sent of a strong archer. The mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? Question mark. A fire goeth forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? He shall cast thunder, like my bad, he shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who should not be afraid? And this the point. The Lord shall threaten, and who should not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence.
Hey, that's cold. And going back to I perceive nothing but dust and smell of smoke. These people getting hit with that concentrated heat and getting that War of the Worlds treatment where they just vaporize on the spot. We bring this up all the time, but there's a brother that had a dream about the war in heaven, and he, in the dream he saw the chariots fighting against the Satan, the dragon, and his angels, these Edomites in their fighter jets, and those laser beams were so cold that they hit the jet and vaporized the pilot on the inside, but left the jet, and the jet just kind of malfunctioned and maneuvered and glided down to the ground and crashed. It's gonna be it's gonna be on a whole different type of time when Yahawashi comes with that heavenly host to fuck Esau up.
And I want to say this too, because you can't say, oh no, that's not the fighter jets and the B-2 bombers and all this shit. It's not Esau's angels, because they even got a term coming up as young children, you know, going to the different airspaces and shit. If you had the opportunity to do this, well, Esau had a term for these guys called the Blue Angels, man.
Mm-hmm.
That do all they go and fly in formation in the sky, do all type of tricks and stunts and shit. That's Esau's military. That's Esau's angels. All right. That's how he's able to fly like an angel, man. He's able to fly, take flight by using his fighter jets, his technology, man. His technology is going to meet the spiritual realm's technology, man, which is far beyond this world, man. And them horns are gonna lock, man. You know.
Just to add, Esau also has that red horse, rapid engineer, deployable, heavy operational repair. He knows he's Esau. He knows he's Rome. He knows he's Babylon the Great. Our people don't know that, but he knows. You got it up.
Kind. And hey, you got to remember when John the Revelator saw this vision, whenever they described the angels in the scriptures, it went without saying that they were piloting the chariots. So say you see a fighter jet in a vision and you see a man piloting it, how's the best way you would describe it? Angel or something like that. They gave an example of the best way they could describe it, just like the missiles are described as bows and arrows and all that. And just to back up what the elder brother said, besides the Blue Angels, there was a scene in that World War II movie called Saving Private Ryan, where at the end, the main characters, the Americans, got saved from the Germans when their fighter planes came in and bombed the tanks. And Tom Hanks's character said, those are angels on our wings, angels on our backs.
Right.
Satan's angels.
Mm-hmm. So it's as simple as that. Those angels and the dragon is speaking about Esau Edom's power structure and his military hardware that he's going to try to fight against Michael and his angels with. And from the precepts we've been getting, it says clearly they prevailed not, neither were found in the earth, but were cast out of the heavens. But we can go back to that Revelation 1. You can read 1 all the way through and then jump to verse 7, and then we'll get that Isaiah 47 and 3. Kind.
Yeah, 3.
Revelation 1, verse 1. The revelation of Yahawashi Mashiach, which the Most High gave unto him, to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass. And he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John. Verse 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him.
And that, as Salaki, as we brought out at camp in Psalms 104, I think verse 3, it says, "Who maketh the clouds his chariots," showing that in the scriptures, clouds are synonymous with the chariots. So those clouds are speaking of the chariots. And also at camp, when we were talking about that movie Independence Day, when the Salakia, when the UFOs first showed up, when they broke the atmosphere, they were concealed by a literal fiery cloud. And then as they got more and more into the atmosphere, the cloud dissipated and you saw the chariot come out of it. And then what it's about to say in the rest of verse 7 is exactly what played out in that movie Independence Day.
It says, "And all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so." Amen.
And it said, "And every eye shall see him, and all kindreds or nations of the earth shall wail because of him." In Independence Day, when those UFOs first showed up, I'll never forget this one scene. You had one scene with like a Hamite in there. It looked like an Ishmaelite, a Edomite, a Jake. All the nations, they just stopped what they were doing and looked up at the chariots. Hey, that's what the people are going to do when Yahawashi makes a second coming. Like they said, when Archduke Franz Ferdinand was assassinated, which led to World War I, the shot heard around the world. This is going to be the event seen around the world. And it said, and the reason the kindreds of the earth are going to wail because of him is because he's coming to make war, one realm fighting against another realm. In the midst of this, you're going to have nuclear missiles flying everywhere, people getting zapped by the chariots. It's going to be complete hell and pandemonium. 2/3 of these heathens are going to be wailing cries of sighing and desperation. But hey, the kindreds of the elect are going to be crying tears of joy because they're going to be getting beamed up onto the chariots, being saved from this coming destruction. Hey, when we see more talks in the news about the Karagma, the more UFO sightings, space forces, and all that, this should be a time of mourning for you, Akim, out there, because we know our salvation is nearer than when we believe. The chariots are the vehicles of our salvation, as it says in Jeremiah 10. Don't be dismayed at the signs of heavens like the heathens are, because hey, these are the vehicles of their destruction. And as it further says in Luke, and when these things begin to come to pass, then lift up and look up your heads, because your redemption draweth nigh. So I get excited, and I know you brothers do as well. You get excited seeing all hell about to break loose around us, and these prophecies coming to our fulfillment, because that just means the kingdom of heaven is at hand. And Abaratazah, a sincere Akim and Akwath, hey, you just endure until the end, so you can get that golden ticket up that getting beamed up onto the chariots. But we can get that Isaiah 47.
Yeah, I was gonna say something too, because going into Revelation, the 19th chapter, all right, in the 12th verse, when it says, "His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head many crowns." That's, Yahawashi is coming back to take the crowns of all crowns. It's just like in a title fight, you got all these contenders from 25 on up to the very top, the top man. You got to contend in all these fights to get these belts. Well, these belts, all right, according to these different kings of the earth, are considered like crowns, and Yahawashi is coming to take all those crowns, all right, to be the undisputed, all right, quote unquote undisputed heavyweight champion, all right, just like that.
Title fight.
Yeah, he's coming to punish the wicked, man. That's why right here too, I was holding on that, which we kind of floating around it, but it's coming out. This is 2nd Esdras 13, and I'm gonna read 12 and 13. It says, and after Yahawashi, lays a royal foot in the ashes of the different armies of the world. It says this, and after I saw the same man come down from the mountain, that's that chariot, all right, that big Independence Day like chariot, and called upon him another peaceable multitude, and there came much people with him. Much people unto him. Therefore, some were glad, some were sad, some of them were bound. And it says, in the others, some brought unto him that were offered. Then was I sick through great fear, and I awoke and said, you got it out.
Hey, that peaceable multitude is talking about the elect, and it said some were glad, the elect, because we've been we've been saved by Yahawashi. Some were sad, these people seeing this mass death and destruction, and some were bound. Hey, the beginnings of slavery, beginning with these elites, those kings and nobles getting those chains and fetters of iron slapped on them, and this is all going to take place. Hey, when Jerusalem, the holy city, the elect comes down off from that chariot, as a brother brought out earlier in Revelation 21.
Real quick to back you, this Psalms 149. I'm gonna start at verse 6. Let the high praises of Yahawah be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people.
And
to
what's it saying? If I could,
okay.
Salaki, if I could say real quick, what's it saying? Revelation 2, start at 25. Hold fast to that which ye have now till I come, and I will give you power over the nations, that you should be able to rule them with the rod of iron and dash them into pieces like the potter's vessel. Hey, that's what that's going into. The saints, beginning with the elect, executing vengeance upon the heathens with that two-edged sword, the spiritual powers, you name it. A literal two-edged sword, the rod of iron, everything.
Yeah, it says to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron.
These Rothschilds, Rockefellers, DuPonts, Gettys, Merovingians, the Bill Gateses and Elon Musks, if they survive, these different sheiks and presidents and prime ministers, you're going to be the first ones up the bat to get those chains and fetters of iron slapped on you, so you can begin fixing up this mess you've all made. And then it's going to trickle down to the surviving heathen nations, the surviving peons across the world, as the elect begin to enslave the remainder of the world and put you to work, so you can begin building up the kingdom of heaven.
God. And this is the only doctrine that deals with that. Every other doctrine on the earth deals with Esau still being in power, the heathen, the so-called elites of the heathen nations, they're still doing up to mischief. They're not paying for what they've done for centuries. They're not paying for what they've done to our people. This is the only doctrine on the earth that actually will put the earth back in order. It's just this, what we're reading right here. You got it out.
Oh, you finish it out, please, Baba Kashai.
God. To bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye Yahawah.
Hold fast to that which ye have now till I come. This is the honor of those that held firm, that were 10 toes down and weren't taken with the cares of the affairs of this world, to be joint heirs with Yahawashi. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity to be of that elect number, especially that 144,000. So hey, it behoove you to keep doing what you're doing right now, and do whatever you can to hold on to that crown and be able to have that honor of being side by side with Yahawashi and laying down the law with that two-edged sword in your hand.
Okay.
But we can get that song, Isaiah 47, and then we'll jump to Revelation 19. You can start at about verse 11, Baba Kasha.
Okay. This the book of Isaiah, chapter 47, verse 3. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man.
Seeing Esau's nakedness being uncovered. Even other Edomites and so-called truthers out here are making all these YouTube videos and BitChute and Odyssey videos showing that everything that's going on right now is a fraud, that we've been lied to for years, and exposing it. But the ultimate ones that are lifting up Esau's skirt and laying him bare are the men of the Lord, breaking things out, breaking things down in the scriptures and filtering the news through the scriptures, giving you the complete 144% answer. But what I wanted to harken on is where it says, I will not meet thee as a man. Yahawashi is coming in that glorified angelic body, because when the last time these Edomites saw Yahawashi was what? When those centurions pierced him on the cross. And as it says back in Revelation 1 verse 7, every eye shall see him, even those that pierced him. Those very same centurions in the past are walking the earth today, ready to receive their judgment personally from Yahawashi, him not meeting them like a man as he did 2,000 years ago, but as that unstoppable, magnificent angelic force, because reincarnation is biblical. But now we can jump to that Revelation 19, just to further expound upon Yahawashi's second coming and him coming to fight against the realm of man, these heathens, chiefly these Edomites, and take away their rulership and set up the kingdom of heaven, what we're diligently waiting for.
Okay. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 19, verse 11. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse. And he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war.
And I saw heaven open, those crowds getting, I would get tongue-tied trying to say that, those clouds getting cracked, and Yahawashi coming into the realm of man with that massive chariot along with the heavenly host. That white horse is also symbolic for the chariot. And of course, him riding upon it, that was called Faithful and True, is Yahawashi. And in righteousness he doth judge and make war. I will not meet thee as a man. Keep going out.
His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns.
And as the elder brother said earlier, his head having many crowns is symbolic for him coming to take away the rulership of you heathen nations, chiefly you Edomites. And as it says in Isaiah 63, who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments of Basra?
Hey, I want to say one thing too, and you brothers out there, we read the scriptures about the chariots and stuff like that. I mean, it's another movie out here. We always bring movies out sometimes for examples to give a vivid visual example of the scriptures or the things that the prophets and teachers talk about, because these producers in Hollywood know what's up too. It's one particular movie, they got its twists and shit like that. You look at these things for the spiritual aspect of them. But when you brothers get time, it's a movie from 2011 called Red State. And in that movie, to the end of the movie, they give a visual depiction of how Yahawashi gonna come back. He's gonna have that big ship and be blowing that ram's horn, man. And then you gonna have one Edomite, he gonna be having his ears covered because the ram horn gonna be blowing so loud and rumbling and shaking everything to where he gonna say, "What is that, preacher?" You're like, "What is that?" That's the Lord. That's a sign of the Lord coming back, man. You know what I'm saying? So these damn devils, man, that run Hollywood, these Amalekites, they have a full understanding of how this gonna go down, man. And they fighting up against it. That's why they got the Space Force. That's why they have big ass scopes and satellites out there in fucking LA, and one over there, and I think it's another one they got over here in Pennsylvania, some fucking where, man. So they can see the Lord when he come back, man. They already got Edomites that work for NASA talking about how they got angels surrounding the earth right now, man. They got a big, massive ship coming fast as hell from the ends of earth somewhere. The big, massive ship. These are the things that have been coming out in the last couple of months, man. Lead up into this so-called New Year. So we in the perfect position in the perfect time to see. All right, because our grandmothers and them to say, "Oh, I'll be long and gone before the Lord get back." Well, we're in a perfect position for the Lord to come back. If you are granted to be alive, all right, when he come back, we're in a perfect position, man. To see him, like this brother said, crack them clouds, man, and come back with all power and might to slay the wicked. All right, in the angels too, man, because the angels gonna get down too, over here on the shores of America. In a city near you, man, you gonna see some angels cutting up, zapping niggas. Niggas gonna get that wappo zappo, man, according to Elder Gabor. Niggas gonna get that wappo zappo, man. All right? You drug dealing niggas, you gonna get, some of you might get zapped, man. You witches and warlocks over here. The black woman, the only thing gonna be left is her weave on the ground, smoking, man. How are you gonna get that action like that, man? You scoffers and scorners. You wicked ass niggas, you gonna get zapped, man. The Lord gonna zap. You gonna get a up close and personal with the Lord. He gonna zap your ass, man, or an angel or something. Then you gotta worry about the men of the Lord getting that power from on high, man. Come and revisit you niggas that have done us wrong, man. Can't wait for that too. You can get a power punch. What they call what they call that? Uh, you get that real power aid, man. You're gonna power you up one of these punches across your shit, man. Or that double-edged sword. You know? Go ahead,
Hey, it reminds me of the beginning of Terminator 2 when Sarah Connor was doing the narration. She said, "Those that survived the nuclear fire lived only to go through a new nightmare, the war against the machines. But in this case, it'd be the war against the Hebrews. And then that's when that metal foot stomped on that skull. Hey, we're gonna be doing a lot of stomping on skulls and heads in that day.
God.
And those Terminators, where they got the red eyes. Hey, we're gonna have glowing. Hey, we be able to turn our eyes red in that day and shoot you with those laser beams out of our eyes. And just to back up what you were saying with these telescopes and these NASA scientists seeing a lot of things out in space over the past couple of years, there was one telescope that picked up an image of a chariot passing over Earth, and it looked like a cartwheel with spokes in it, and they said it was larger than the size of the Earth. And then a couple of months ago, another satellite picked up a chariot by Saturn that they said they measured it to be half the size of the Earth. So that's what's roaming around in the second heaven right now. And you honestly think you got any technology that can fight against something that's bigger than the Earth itself? Esau can't even build anything even half the size of the Earth. Just, man,
Hey, that's what the Lord told us too, man. I got a precept. This is Luke 24. I'm starting at 45. It says, then open he their understanding that they might understand the scriptures. And he said unto them, thus it is written, and thus it is behoove Mashiach to suffer and to be raised from the dead the third day, and in the recompense of the remission of sins shall be preached unto his name among all nations, beginning at Jerusalem, and ye are witnesses of these things. And I beheld, and I sent the promise of my Father unto you, but tarry ye in the city of Jerusalem until ye be endued with power from on high, man.
and dude with power from on high, and getting those new spiritual bodies and those spiritual powers. That's what we're diligently waiting for, the salvation and to be joint heirs with Yahawashi, that this honor have all his saints. Did you know what?
Let me see.
Some good ones on the comment board.
Okay.
That you had the elder mentioned that these chariots are going to be in the house of the wicked. This the brother Kabar Shabbat Shalawam. Proverbs 3:33. The curse of Yahawah, bahasham Yahawashi, is in the house of the wicked. So we know the house of the wicked is Esau, Edom, is Babylon the Great. All right, the wicked is Esau. Malachi 1:4, Job 9:24. It says the curse of Yahawah is in the house of the wicked. So the scriptures are referring to the angels and chariots as a curse of the Lord. It's a curse to the wicked, but it's our salvation.
Okay, and one to back that up is in Zechariah chapter 5. I'm gonna read it real quick. Verse 3. Then he said unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the... Oh, kind. You want to bring it out, Acker?
No,
okay.
You got it.
This then said he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off on that side according to it. I will bring it forth, saith Yahawah of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief. And who's that thief? Esau, Edom. And he covets a man's lands and identities by violence. And the thief cometh not but to steal and to kill. And talking about Esau. And into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name. remain in the midst of his house, backing up that Proverbs 3, the curse of the Lord is in the house of the wicked, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. Hey, again, the chariots are the vehicles of our salvation, but the vehicles of destruction and torment for these heathens, chiefly these Edomites. Again, as we get back in that Revelation 19, hey, he had many crowns on his head, taking away their rulership, taking them out of their heavens and into their hell, hardcore bondage and slavery. But you can go back to the Revelation 19.
God. It says, verse 13, and he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name was called the Word of the Most High.
Again, Yahawashi, it says he was the Word made flesh in John chapter 1, and that vesture dipped in blood is that mass death and destruction he's coming to bring. Again, chiefly towards you Edomites, as it says in Isaiah 63. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments of Basra? And I'll just get it real quick. I don't want to paraphrase it.
I'll read it for you.
Kind.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 63, verse 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save.
Glorious in his apparel. I will not meet thee as a man, and traveling in the greatness of his strength. Hey, that mountain he's returning in, that white horse that Esdras couldn't see the end of, along with the archangel Michael and the whole host of angels and chariots coming to make war against the realm of man.
God, it says, wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth the wine fat? Question mark.
And of course, in the ancient times, and even today, when people step on those grapes, if they're wearing a white garment or a light colored garment, it's going to look like it's a vesture dipped in blood, as it said back in that Revelation 9. So mass death and destruction specifically for you Edomites and all the places you dwell. In your chief city, your modern day Basra, the United States of America is going to get completely wiped off the face of the earth by those 200 million nuclear missiles, as well as the laser beams being fired on from the chariots.
Verse 3, I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury. And their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment.
For I will tread them in mine anger, trample them. Yahawashi's got 2,000 years of built up anger coming for you, specifically for you Edomites. Keep going on.
For the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeemed is come.
For the day of vengeance, a second coming, clouds to take those many crowns from you heathens and make war against you, is in his heart. Year of my redeemed is come. The salvation of the elect, 144,000, and the rest of the righteous 1/3. And as we read in Revelation 1 verse 1, it said these things which must shortly come to pass. And we can clearly see that we're living in these times. But we can go back to that Revelation 19, Baba Kasha.
It says, and the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean.
Michael and his angels, that fleet of chariots coming back with Yahawashi.
And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron. And he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of the almighty power.
And out of his mouth goeth the sharp sword. Those chariots firing that concentrated heat, that he should smite the nations and shall rule them with a rod of iron. When Yahawashi and New Jerusalem come down from the chariots, and the elect being joint heirs with him, ruling with that rod of iron, putting in that work and laying down law, setting up the kingdom of heaven. Courtesy of you heathen nations is free slave labor.
And he had on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords.
It speaks for itself. The King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, the old king out here underneath Yahawah. And hey, I'm as long as I'm up that number, I'll get in where I fit in. I just want to be joint heirs with Yahawashi. And as it says in that time, When he shall appear, we shall be like him, and the house of David shall be as God.
God.
But now we can jump to that second Esdras 13 and start at, we can start at verse 5. We can start at verse 5. Baba Kasha.
God. Second Esdras 13, verse 5. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea.
And that multitude of men out of number from the four winds of heaven, or from the four corners of the earth, are all these heathen nations being gathered down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, or Yahawah's Shabbat, Yahweh's judgment, over in that Middle Eastern region for the battle in the valley of Jehoshaphat, the war of Armageddon, World War III. And in the midst of that, as we're about to read, they're going to try to subdue the man that came out of the sea. Yahawashi cracking those clouds and returning with that host, with the hosts of heaven. To stop
They got the
fighting each
scripture to
other.
back you up too.
Oh, Khan.
You heard me?
Khan, you got it.
I got the scripture to back up exactly what you're saying. You know, for those, you know, for the sincere brothers who want, you know, that verse of what the brother saying is Joel 3:9. I'm gonna read down to 14. It says, Joel 3:9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men. All right, let all the mighty men of war draw near, let them come up, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves, come, all ye heathen. All right, gather yourselves together round about hither, cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be awake. Let the heathen be awakened. All right, and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. For there while I sit to judge all the heathen round about. It says, put ye in the sickle, all right, for the harvest is ripe. Come, go up, go ye down, for the press is full, all right. The fats overflow, but their wickedness is great. And this the last one. It says multitudes in the valley of decisions. But the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decisions.
Hey, I will show you these things which must shortly come to pass. The valley of Jehoshaphat in that Middle Eastern region, mainly Saudi Arabia, for the battle in the valley of Jehoshaphat, the war of Armageddon. Those multitudes of men gathered together from the four winds down there to begin fighting each other and get finished off by Yahawashi when he makes his second coming, the day of the Lord. But we can go back to that second Esdras 13.
God. This is verse 6. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it.
That massive fathership chariot, as it's about to say.
But I would have seen the region or place whereout he would, but I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not.
It was so massive, Esdras couldn't see the end of it, like those UFOs in Independence Day.
And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight.
In the midst of the battle in the valley of Jehoshaphat with these heathen nations fighting each other, Yahawashi is going to make his second coming, and they're gonna have a temporary team up and stop fighting each other and band together to try to fight against Yahawashi. And hey, they showed this all the time in these Marvel and DC movies. At the end of Endgame, Thanos was clearly Yahawashi. And what you see, all the different superheroes come together and fight against him. And I heard in one of the Justice League movies they didn't make that Darkseid, who's also symbolic for Yahawashi, when he comes to fight against the Justice League at the end, you've got the Atlanteans and the nations of man and the Amazonians, the heathen nations, band together. They said they had fighter jets. They would have fighter jets and Navy ships all coming to fight against Darkseid. These heathens read the scriptures. And again, these movie directors get their ideas from the scriptures to make these movies. And in all these movies, they make Yahawashi look like the Thanos, Darkseid, aliens, the bad guy, and they defeat him. But in the real life movie, in the true story, it's a whole different ball game as we're reading about.
Yeah, and that goes into Esau being the devil again, because he knows the truth, and instead of teaching the truth, which he can't do, he's the devil. He perverts it. He makes Yahawashi the villain, the super villain. He makes the angels, they're aliens. He's just a devil, man.
Mm-hmm. Just fuck Esau.
Okay. Verse 9, it says, "And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war."
Yahawashi's not going to give a second thought to Esau and these other heathens trying to fight against him. I like to imagine is Yahawashi just giving them that look with his hands crossed, with his cape blowing in the wind, in the most magnificent golden shoulder pads you've ever seen, just standing on top of the chariot, looking down at everybody like they're stupid.
I got a precept for that too.
Okay, you got it out.
Yeah, this is Daniel's 8:23. All right. And 24 is the point. No, 25 is the point. It says in the latter times of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sayings shall stand up, and his power shall be mighty, but not of his own power. And he shall destroy wonderfully, all right, and shall prosper and practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people. This it says, and though his policies shall, my bad, and through his policies also shall he cause craft to prosper in his hands, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many.
This is all speaking to Esau. Hey, that the devil let out for that little season to deceive the earth and using his craft and his witchcraft to prosper and make his policies to prosper and all that, and him beating down and wearing down the saints, putting the children of Israel into slavery, thinking to change times and seasons and all that.
Right. It says he shall also stand against the prince. My bad. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand.
Hey, the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, who shall not utterly be beaten into powder. He's gonna try to this piece of shit is gonna try to fight against Yahawashi, the dragon and his angels. But as it said, he did not prevail, but was cast down to the earth, and his place was no more found in the heaven. He's going to be beat to pieces, utterly annihilated.
God, what was that quote? I think the movie was Battlefield Earth. It was like you had thousands of years to come up with all this technology, and it only took us 1 hour to completely take you over.
Hey, literally 1 hour, and in 1 hour shall Babylon fall. And man, that was an interesting movie too. They were tall. The so-called aliens, they were tall, had spiritual powers, and were putting a foot in Esau's ass.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this too, real quick, because even when you go into verse 26 and 27, it said, "This is Daniel." It said, "In the vision of the evening and morning, which was told, is true. Wherefore thou shut up the vision, for it shall be for many days." And we ain't those many days now, those last days.
Mm-hmm.
It said, and it says, "I Daniel fainted and was sick in certain days." Goddamn, Daniel got even Esdras. When you read about Esdras in this book, Esdras like, "Woe is me, woe is me. Who shall deliver me in those days?" And Esdras knew that he was gonna be back in these times. Daniel knew that too. Daniel is back, man. Ezra is back. You know, even Job. Job said what Job said in the Bible. Job said, I should see him, but not now. I should behold him, but not. You know, talking about the Lord coming back, man. In his all glory, man. In his full majesty, man.
I got that to back you up.
A lot of you old ass church jakes, you're gonna see the Lord literally, man. And it's his mystique about him, like the brother said, the gold. You know, Jake gonna be mad. Like the brother said, you might have seen what's that Arab? I think he had Jake too. He did boxing. Prince. Prince
Not seen.
Prince Unseen. This nigga was the king of entrance. All ringside entrance. All right, you can put all them niggas out there. The Rock, Stone Cold. Them niggas ain't got nothing on Yahawashi when he come back, man. I'm telling you can think of your greatest guy. When Yahawashi come back, man, with all that gold and them rubies and shit, them stones you never seen, and that beard, man. All the light glistening off that beard and them and that Jake, Jake got that anger. You niggas gonna, a lot of you, that's why I say a lot of you niggas, man, your heart's gonna fail you at the sight of the Lord, man. You niggas gonna catch heart attacks when you see that man standing on high, man, with all the glory of the kingdom of heaven with him, man. All right. Even some of the brothers that done died in this thing, man, the blessed brothers that done died, they gonna come back too, ready to kick ass too, man. You niggas ain't seen shit, man. You ain't seen shit yet until you seen Yahawashi, man. And we believe in him, man. We cold-heartedly, I'm talking about believe in Yahawashi, man. All right? And we believe he's gonna get busy too. The Lord ain't coming back we tell you time and time again, years back, the Lord is not coming back to hand out buckets of KFC chicken, man. Potato wedges and strawberry cold drink, man. The Lord coming back to kick you niggas dead in your asses, man. You're wicked. You Edomites, he gonna bash your asses in too, man. All right? So go smoke on that too, man. What I just said. Go ahead, Doc.
God.
I got that Job, that quote you had quoted.
Ooh, man, I be fucking with this brother here. You be having, like you said, them golden pads and shit, man. The Lord got the paps on and shit. Mike got a big line and shit with his mouth open. The rubies and shit, man. You motherfuckers ain't ready, man. All that, he gonna come back, man. The fog and shit. Hey, he gonna come back. He gonna come back dramatic, man. Yahawashi, the Father is dramatic, man. He's a man of. He's the great producer of the production. So when his son come back, he gonna set the scene, man. Electricity and shit,
God.
fire. You gonna feel the heat flash in your face. Like, oh shit. He gonna, hey man, that whoop whoop. That Rams horn going off, man. A lot of you niggas gonna take a shit on yourself, man. All you naysayers and disbelievers, you niggas who don't believe shit, you gonna shit on yourself when Yahawashi come back, man. I'm sure he gonna make it happen to you niggas too, man. And get that Micah 7 and 10. That need to come out too, huh? All you goddamn boneheaded ass women that don't believe, you church going, big floral dress, big cap wearing ass women, man. That don't believe shit. A lot of you motherfuckers, you gonna get your hat blown off, man. When Yahawashi come back and kick up the dust around here, man. Cause the dust needs to be kicking up. Wickedness has been going on too fucking long, man. Under this goddamn devil, man. You niggas ain't got beside yourself in punishment, man. All right? Go ahead, Doc. I just got in the spirit real fast talking about Yahawashi, man. Oh, man.
Yeah,
hey, we mean this, man. We love this, man.
God. This is the Micah 7, and I started 8. Point is in 10. It says, rejoice not against me, O mine enemy. When I fall, I shall arise. When I sit in darkness, Yahweh shall be a light unto me. And Yahawashi is that light. He's the light of Yahweh, the light of the world.
That's right.
I will bear.
As this is going into, it's going into you wicked Jake women out there at the head of the pack is that brute beast, that hyena, that water buffalo, that nigger woman. And we're seeing with this year alone, hey, a lot of you women a lot of you Eves out here are catching holy hell. Just this morning, I saw a news break that they found the dead body of some Eve in Louisiana somewhere. And days before that, 4 women getting shot, 5 women getting shot in the head, kidnapped, murdered, raped, disappearing. Hey, it's 2022 again's the year of the turn up, and that includes you women as well as you wicked niggas out here.
God. Keishasaurus Rex is about to be extinct, man.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 9. I will bear the indignation of Yahweh because I have sinned against him until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me. He will bring me forth to the light, and I shall behold his righteousness. Then she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where's Yahweh, thy power? Where's your God at?
Hey, a lot of you women out there that were dealing with a sincere brother out here, hey, not truly believing and giving him holy hell when you should have been a helpmeet. And in that day, hey, you said where's the Lord and where's his coming? Well, hey, you're gonna see it. You're gonna feel it in 4D, up close and personal.
Yeah, man.
You got to finish.
Especially you wicked ass women that's whip brothers, man. You wanna sometimes wear your dress and your head covered in vain, man. The Lord gonna punish your ass too, man. You know, personally, the Lord gonna get down with your ass personally, man. All right.
And in that head wrap, if you look on the inside, it's got yellow marks from that sweaty ass big forehead.
Yeah, man.
It
Yeah,
says,
that's why I said that statement that they make, because I never heard that statement before about certain women, man, where it says, where is the Lord thy power? Because time has gone on and progressed. You thinking the Lord ain't coming back. You thinking the Lord ain't gonna make war with these devils in the heavens. He is, man. He's gonna come back with all power and majesty, as we tell you. All right. You gonna see the Lord, man. All right. He's gonna be a lot of you niggas, a lot of you Latin tribes too. You gonna get your feelings hurt, man. Cause you looking for the white boy to come back. It's Jesus, Marcos, Jesus. You looking for the white boy to come back. When a dark skinned man from the tribe of Judah come back, a lot of you niggas it's gonna hurt your feelings, man. You know, a lot of you niggas gonna be hurt, man. Through. But that's
Goddamn.
just how the story goes, man. This ain't a black power thing. Because we tell you all the time that you Latin tribes, you Native Americans, and you Negroes, you are part of this thing, man. This ain't no black power. This is a thing. This is a thing of different shades of brown, man. All right. We bring out color for truth's sake. And the man that's coming back to make war in the heavens, he's a man of color, man. Right along with his father. All right along with the host of heaven. Okay? And that's just what it is, man. You got to accept that. You got to accept that the easy way or the hard way. And I advise you to accept it the easy way, because the hard way going to be brutal. All right? It's going to be cruel. All right? Go ahead, Doc.
A lot of you spicks and tontos out here gonna catch a hot one too. A first from Esau coming down with that glistening sword. Hey, you looking for white Jesus to come back? Well, hey, a white boy is gonna come back in military hardware, laying you down with the streets. And then those that survive that and are still wicked, they're gonna see the real Messiah come back and lay you down with those laser beams.
Yeah, man.
it says, "Mine eyes shall behold her. Now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the streets."
As the mud, as the shit in the streets. Like when you see in those old movies, those old westerns, when somebody gets run over by a horse carriage and they're laying face down in a mucky street with some horseshoe prints on their back. Hey, everybody, every idle word is about to be be accounted for. We're quickly coming into those days, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful to see that everything we've been preaching is coming to pass before our very eyes, and we know that, as we've also been preaching, that judgment for you wicked jakes is coming as well. And as it says in Proverbs chapter 1, hey, I shall laugh and mock at your calamity when it cometh upon you.
Yeah, because according to the church make you think that the Lord is all love and peace and harmony and poetry. And now the Lord is a man of war. You know, the Lord ain't about the Lord is about that, but he's not. This ain't the time for that, man. That's gonna be displayed in the kingdom. The Lord coming back to make war with the wicked, to take crowns, all right, and to slay all those that's against him, man. All right, scriptures clearly tell you that. You know, we went to church as little boys. It made you think it was, in all peace and soul and, everything was just all good. That's not so according to the Bible. When you read these scriptures for yourself and understand the times that you're in and what's finna come, the Lord is coming back, man, with all cruel intentions, man. All right. You didn't lied on him. You didn't defaced him. You didn't mock him, spit on him, did him bad when he was here on the earth. You did his men like this. He's coming back to avenge the elect, man. So he's coming back to kick ass and take names, man. All right, and them in that order. When we bring it out about martial law and all of that shit, but yes, the Lord, the same thing applies. When the Lord comes back, He's coming back to bring it to you. It's gonna be a lot of blood, guts, and ass, man. What that nigga Biggie said, a lot of slow singing and flower bringing. All right, when the Lord hit the scene, man, in that order. Go ahead, I know you about to say something.
Kind of just to back up what you said, the Lord's coming back cruel. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 13, verse 9. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it.
Hey, back in that Isaiah 63, that vengeance and that anger that is in mine heart, that 2,000 years of pent up anger and rage and ready to get his licks back.
Okay.
But we can go back to that
second Esdras
13 kind.
It says verse 9, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand nor held sword nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests.
That concentrated heat of those so-called laser beams coming from the chariots. And also, where did the laser beams come out on those UFOs in Independence Day? The bottom opened up like a mouth and shot out that green beam and just completely wiped away anything that was underneath it in a 10-mile radius.
It says, and they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up.
Cool. That vengeance.
God. It says, and burnt them up, every one. so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid.
Who shall not be utterly beaten to powder? The only thing that was to be perceived was dust and smell of smoke. They just charred husks, remains, and piles of dust everywhere. Again, like that movie War of the Worlds. And hey, these are the times, as it said again back in Revelation 1 verse 1, these times which must shortly come to pass. We're living in these times that Yahawashi told his disciples, many kings and great men have desired to see these days and hear these things, and have not seen them, but you see them.
I got one.
Okay.
This is Jeremiah. The point is in 7, but this is Jeremiah 4 and 6. Jeremiah 4 and 6. It says, set up the standard towards Zion, retire, stand not, for I will bring evil from the north in a great destruction. The lion is come out of his thicket. The destroyer of the Gentiles is on his way. He is gone forth from his place to make the land desolate, and thy cities shall be laid waste without inhabitants.
It speaks for itself.
The tribe of Judah.
It's as simple as that. What we've been going throughout this whole video.
Oh, it got a little more. It says, verse 8, for this girt ye with sackcloth, lament and howl, for the fierce anger of the Lord is not turned back from us. All right. It says, it says, and it shall come to pass at that day, said the Lord, that the heart of the king shall perish, the heart of the princes, the heart and the priests shall be astonished, and the priest and the prophets shall wonder. Let me see, yeah, that's about it. What you about to say? Yeah, so the Lord gonna get down to come back. Like it says, the lion has come out of his thicket. The destroyer of the Gentiles is on his way. That's what we're telling you. That's a prophecy that the Lord is on his way, man, to make war. The Lord ain't no sucker, man. He ain't no Urkel, man. No lame right here. The Lord coming back to get busy, man. To actually to get a, he's not gonna run away from World War III. He's actually gonna get in the mix of World War III, man, and be the last man standing, a one man army, man. All right, he's coming back to slay all the armies of the world. He's coming back to take captive the different kings and rulers of this world, man. And who wouldn't want to be a part of that, man? Lord will. Lord will be those men that are part of that, man.
Kind.
That was it for me,
Kind. I'm just reading something real quick.
There's a good one off the comment board. It's
Where you at?
Kabar. He's got the Habakkuk 3 and 13. Thou wentest forth for the salvation of thy people, even for the salvation of thine anointed. Thou woundest the head out of the house of the wicked, which again is Esau. And the anointed are the Israelites, man. By discovering the foundation unto the neck, Salah, which starts with him being exposed, going back to Isaiah 47, the truth coming through the mouth of his prophets, the spirit of his mouth. And after that is what? The brightness of his coming, which is what this whole lesson is going into. He's going to destroy them with the brightness of his coming. You got it out.
Kind. That's all I had. Do you brothers have any other precepts?
That's it.
That was pretty much it.
Kind. Hey, so with that, we hope you sincere Akim and Akwath were edified by this Shabbat lesson. And again, as always, we're going to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, Rakahakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, the great Millstone who rule and teach well. And peace and salutations to you, sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. Shabbat Shalawam.
Shabbat Shalawam.
Shalawam.